Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to Venture Society. Today, we've got all 4 designers on the team for Venture Society, which is very exciting because I don't think more than maybe one other time we've actually all played together. So this is cool. So first, let me introduce myself. I'm Heather O'Neill, CEO of Ninth Level, also the lead game designer on Venture Society. And then I've got Tim. Want to introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, I'm Timothy Grant. I'm a game designer. I am co-owner of Gaming Approaches Towards Education, where we do therapy and gaming. And I do streaming over on Cast Gamers on Twitch.
I guess, Brian, you want to go next?
My name is Dr. Brian Quinones. I'm a licensed counselor in New Jersey, and I have the temporary license in psychology for New Jersey as well. Also co-owner of Gaming Approaches Towards Education and co-designer on Venture Society.
Nice. All right, Erin.
And I'm Erin Gilbert, or I guess Erin Bonfoy now, and I am a 4th grade teacher up in Connecticut. I am also co-director and head of youth programs for the Central Connecticut Student Writing Project, and I am happy to be here.
Awesome. So today we're going to do an actual play, but first we wanted to just kind of give you a recap, an overview of the game and how it's going to work. Because this is going to have a couple different elements than the normal role-playing game sessions that you're probably used to seeing, especially even the ones based for kids. So firstly, it's a polymorph based game, which if you follow ninth level, you're probably familiar with what that means. And when we get into character creation, we'll go over that in much more detail. But because this is specifically geared towards younger children, like ages 5 to 12, not exclusively, but that's kind of the sweet spot. We really push to try to get this to be shorter adventures and find ways to bring the attention and focus back to the table. So overall, the game is for anyone, families, kids, that type of thing first. But secondly, it could be used as a tool for therapists and teachers. And that is really what like the last 2 years of work has been focusing on a lot, is making sure we had that down, making sure we were doing the right thing and still having a fun game. So Tim and Brian actually were the first two that we kind of all three talked about doing this project. So maybe if you two want to talk about what you were thinking and those first days when we were coming up with this.
Yeah, it's crazy to think, we met and we talked about game design and games for a very long time, and then like the pandemic hits and we're all like, we need something to do. We all want to make a game. We want to make a game that has to do with like therapy, but also is fun. And we started seeing like a real need for some of our clients. We work with a lot of children, and especially at that time, and it was getting harder because of the pandemic. A lot of their social skills were diminishing, and we needed like tools to be able to use online, and tools that we could give the parents, and we didn't really have that. And we wanted to make something that we can give to a family and they can practice with their kids how to use proper social skills.
Yeah. Brian, anything else?
Yeah, I think for me, I was excited about the idea of being able to make something that people could just pick up and play, really just run with their kids, and just have room to just use their imagination and like stay flexible enough to, if you need to help someone like with this idea, hey, it's there. If all they want to do is have fun, I'm a play therapist, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, yes, play
Play
and
first.
have fun. The healing will happen, but first let's play and have fun, and I was
Yeah.
really enjoy being able to work together to create a space where that can happen.
Yeah. So I think it was pretty early on in the pandemic, probably March or April, that the three of us kind of got on a call and we're like, we're going to do this. And then somewhere in the next 6 months, because I don't know time, who can remember anymore, somewhere in that time frame, we were like, we would really like to have an education perspective. We'd really like to have an early, elementary school age teacher. And I was like, I know Erin would be perfect, but I don't know if you want to do this. So we reached out, and clearly you did want to do it, so if you want to talk about a little bit about what you were, the early days, and like what you're hoping to get out of this existing in the world. Oh, did you freeze?
I did. So Heather approached me to see if I'd be interested in being coming on as the education consultant for this game, and to see if there's room within curricular content, if there's room within the structures that exist within classrooms for a game like this, and then what recommendations could be made to fit this game into classrooms, elementary classrooms, middle school classrooms, et cetera. And so that's how I initially came onto the project. And then as the ball kept rolling and we started, having meetings and talking about what the project was going to look like and what the game was going to look like, I had the opportunity to get involved a little bit with some of the creative aspects of the game, which is great. I'm seeing a lot of creative growth from that, which I think just really reflects the creative growth that students would see participating in a game like this, because there's just so much to be said for the power of storytelling and for creating stories collaboratively that is just not always tapped into in classrooms. So I think that bringing an RPG like this that is so kid focused and kid friendly and into classrooms is going to be really powerful for that. From the social emotional standpoint, there is such a push for social emotional wellness and really teaching and honing those skills with our students. Even pre-pandemic, it was already kind of something that people were becoming more and more aware of, more cognizant of, and caring a lot more about. And so not only the creative components of the game, but also just the fact that it's teaching those social emotional skills in such relatable, authentic ways. While also with the whimsical of you're an animal, you're going on adventures. And I really am excited for the implications of this game in classrooms. And it's been a great joy to be part of this project and really make it work for educators of all levels. And just to see, Tim and Brian put the therapist spin on it, and getting to work with Heather in a creative and also professional capacity has been really rewarding. I'm loving this project. So.
Yay, us too. So you mentioned the animals thing. We really didn't get into yet, like what happens in the game. So we're going to go into a deep dive on it, but basically in Venture Society, it's a world of animals. Everyone is an animal. You could be a butterfly if you want, you could be a moose, you could be, whatever you want to be. You could be any animal. And Tim, depending on where you want to go with this, would you want me to hand it off to you to start talking about the game setting, or do we want to just do like a little more quick overview here? What do you think?
Yeah, so I think we could move on into the setting a little bit and talk about the rules a little bit, how we integrated like polymorph into this game meant for kids, like simplifying polymorph in a way. So Venture Society is a game where, like Heather said, we're all animals in this world where at one time there was war. And now, at one point, all the animals at war and all these other parts of this area decided to put all their weapons down and have peace in the world. And when they did that, they decided to create the Venture Society, a organization that works throughout the world to keep people together, right? To stop war, to stop violence, to stop arguments, and keep peace in a way, and togetherness. And I think that's really important, important thing to push. And I think sometimes something that we don't always think about when we're playing a role-playing game, right? We think about role-playing games a lot, and we think about like, oh, are there going to be swords, and are we going to like attack everyone? Who are we killing this time? Like, I think it's important. I think it's important for us to like be able to play games where it's more about like
the storytelling,
doing something for others, right? And having like this like fun time instead of this like violent time, right?
Yeah, and actually it's funny that you said that, because the one thing I was going to bring up is, everyone says, okay, well, non-violent, what do you even do? But the cozier RPGs are getting quite popular because people have learned about D&D and they've kind of moved away, or they found the parts that they liked about it weren't the fighting, it was the exploring the towns and going around and doing things. So it's starting to be a thing. But on top of that, just barely starting, then there's not that many kid-focused RPGs because their parents are just, kind of learning more things. So it's new to being brought into them. So we really were like, okay, let's kind of almost pull concepts from like cartoon shows, like episodic almost, right? Like we want these to be shorter. We want things to hopefully get resolved in less than an hour. We want to kind of think through, so we have the Excellence, which is actually about a cartoon princesses. So we had that in mind. Okay, episodic, like there's very few through points that are going to go on for 12 sessions unless you're in a campaign. It's pretty much going to be a encapsulated adventure. But unlike the Excellence, we really thought about the age group and decided to pare it down way back from even the Excellence, so that hopefully in 30-45 minutes you're done. if you need to be. And worst case, you just do a second adventure if you've got the time, you know.
Our biggest goal was to fit to be able to play a game in a therapeutic hour, right? Because we do want it to be able to be used in therapy. So we wanted it to be able to be played in 45 minutes if we needed it, or half an hour if that was the case. You know, depending on certain insurance, it depends on how long you're going to see your therapist. So that was really important for us. And also, you know, when we brought Erin on board, thinking about like the classroom, how small can we make the littlest adventure, right? And Brian being a play therapist, also talking about like, hey, like I want to make the smallest adventure because what if it's like bibliotherapy in a way, right? Can we make it that small?
Yeah, that idea of, and I think Erin can speak to it as well, really well, is the idea like if you ever go to like a library, you ever go to a Barnes and Nobles, and you go and you see a whole bunch of little kids, you know, and they're being read to, right? And so the idea of, well, instead of them like just being read to, they're the ones reading to us. They're the ones who are giving us the story, and they get to play it out and they get to act it out.
Yeah, and then listening to you all talk about like bibliotherapy and even play therapy that's story based to that extent reminds me a lot of the research I've done like in family literacy, right? There's so much to be said and so much power behind family literacy and how important those practices are of, you know, literacy starts at home and just building those practices and those shared experiences. And this is just another way that, you know, storytelling is literacy at its foundation. So I think that this is just another way to tap into those important things and those connections and relationships and just giving families another thing to do together. But also to the point you were making earlier about these being small on purpose and trying to fit them into the school day. You know, teachers don't always have the most freedom as far as what we can or how we can use our time. You know, there's a lot of instructional guidelines that are really tied down to the minute. And so it's really important that these are so short and sweet because within that gives teachers the freedom to include a piece of the adventure in the morning and a piece of the adventure independently. Okay, you're going to work on so we left off at, you know, this piece, you're going to work on this part by yourselves and we'll come back together at the end of the day and wrap up the adventure. So there is a lot of versatility within the adventures that we're writing and providing. So
yeah, and you know, I'm definitely parents would obviously love, after school programs would love, camp counselors would love, librarians would love, you know, older sisters and siblings trying to get a therapy or a teacher and the adults playing. Skill, right? So yeah.
You brought up a great point about like modeling it off of like cartoons and sometimes like we learn lessons as kids by watching some of those cartoons, right? Some of those more wholesome cartoons is where we learn things like Care Bears and things like that. Like we learn lessons through that. And we tried to take some of the stories that and the style of storytelling from some of these shows, and we tried to mimic it as much as we could within like the adventures that we're writing for this.
Yeah, I mean, Tim and I both agree one of our favorite cartoons out right now is Craig of the Creek.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Even as an adult, you should go watch it. It's so good. But it's basically about a bunch of like 8 to 10, 12-year-olds playing in the creek after school and all their adventures. And, you know, that's the vibe. It's pretty nonviolent. It's pretty wholesome. You know, we were like, oh, like Avatar originally. We're like, no, that's too much. You know, even Teen Titans and even Adventure Time, they're still fighting. You're dungeon crawling. It's similar, but really Craig of the Creek was like the sweet spot where I was like, we should watch these. Everybody who hasn't watched them, this is kind of the vibe we're going for. So if you're familiar with that show, that's pretty much the vibe that we're going for. with this game. So it's approachable to bring into a school because of that. It's not going to get denied because of that. It's not, hopefully, not going to offend parents and or caregivers who would be bringing this into the house. So, that's another bonus to get it into more households. So yeah, we've got that going on. But yeah, Tim, if you want to run through the rules real quick and kind of do an overview, I think we can probably get going unless anybody had anything else you wanted to add. Feel free, we've got time. You good? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was just waiting to see if anyone had something, but yeah, so in Venture Society, we only ever roll, and just like in polymorph games in general, we only roll one die ever, and that die will be associated with a role, if you will. So in this game, we have roles that represent someone who moves a lot. We have a role where someone could be the talker. And then we have someone that is the role of the protector. And the protector would be the D10, the talker is a D8, and the mover is a D6. And if anyone else is familiar with polymorph games, there's usually a D4. But we chose not to go with the D4 because it's hard to pick up a D4, especially for kids. We chose purposely not to include that in this version of the polymorph system. So that was an intentional thing.
Hard to read them too sometimes.
Yeah, it's hard to read them too. Absolutely.
Right. So the other thing is, I think everybody can see the resolver chart of numbers that should be on the overlay. So what might not be there is this D6, D8, D10 thing, but I wanted to let you know, Tim, that they should be able to see that chart.
And from there, you're gonna try to do something. If, let's say, you are trying to think really hard about, try to remember something, or you're trying to calm yourself down or calm someone else down, you might trying to focus yourself. So you would roll your die, and if you rolled a 2 or a 3, you would succeed. And let's say you were trying to do something physical and something that might be like jumping over something or lifting something up, you would use move. And that would, if you rolled a 3, 4, or a 5, you would succeed there. If you're trying to communicate with someone, or you're trying to ask questions or persuade someone, or mimic a noise or something, that would be a words roll, and that would be a 4, 5, 6, or 7 to succeed. Then there is heart rolls, where you might be trying to be brave, and you might be trying to apologize to someone, things of that sort. You would roll a 5, 6, 7, 8, or a 9 to succeed. And if anyone rolls the top of their die, either the 6, 8, or 10, that is called a venture roll. What that means is, I'll ask you, what does your animal know, have, or remember that helps you succeed? And everyone will yell venture, and we will automatically succeed in this because of how celebrating, like, how good you are at doing that thing. And if we roll a 1, usually a 1 is like a negative thing. We wanted to try to take away like anything that would be like a negative, like, consequence in a way. So instead of a 1 being a negative thing, it's you get a help token. And what a help token does is you can spend 1 to try again and re-roll. You can spend 2 of them to say, I have this, and you have something that helps you on the rest of this adventure. Or you can spend 3 tokens and say, I have a great plan. And you can all discuss as a group, what is this plan? And then succeed at the plan because you came together and really thought, like, what is this what is the plan to get over this challenging situation? And
on.
help tokens are a communal thing, so we can use them at any point. Just be mindful that if you hog them all up to try again, maybe the rest of your venture mates here may not like that. So keep that in mind.
That's true. Two things I wanted to let you finish that. So first of all, if you're familiar with ninth level, you know we like yelling things. So that's why Venture is in here. And, and the other thing is typically when we do a stream like this, it's a 3-hour stream, and that's sometimes cutting it close on being able to explain the game and play. But as we've mentioned, we specifically made these adventures very, very short. So even if we stretch it and do all kinds of extra stuff, going to be about 45 minutes, which is why we are really like telling you our thoughts and taking our time here. So the good thing is when you're at home playing this, it will be a nice short like after dinner thing, and the kids can go to bed right after or something.
Yeah.
Or after school thing.
Think of it like a bedtime story.
Yep.
Yeah. One last thing about the rules is that we will have advantage and disadvantage. So if we come to a situation, I may say that, oh, maybe you have advantage at this because you are good at doing this thing. And you may get disadvantage. Maybe you're in a situation where it may not work out for you in your favor, right? So just to keep in mind, those are things that are in the game. And for the most part, those are all the rules. I think we're right on time to be able to start talking about our characters and building our characters.
I wanted to mention one thing, since you've been doing a great, Tim is the guide, which you may or may not have realized because he was doing such a good job of kind of setting the game up. But this is a GM'd or guided game. There's ways probably it doesn't need to be, but because of the nature of the age group and everything, that is the plan. But in polymorph games, the GM never rolls. So it's completely focused on the player, and it's very narrative based. Like Tim was saying, if they can do it, they can come up with it, they succeed. If they create this plan and they've spent the tokens, it works. This way, you know, it's really incentivizing their creativity and their problem solving. So I just wanted to bring that up there because you had done a good job of going over the guide role, and that's what Tim was doing there before we get going into our character creation. So
thank you, Heather.
Tim.
So to create our characters in Venture Society, first we think about what kind of animal do we want to play, right? What is something fun for us? What's something we would like to play? So do any of you have an animal that you would like to play? I know me personally, I would either choose a raccoon or something along those lines, maybe a possum. But what would you all like to play today?
Erin, you want to start? I know you're ready.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to go out of left field here, and I'm going to play a skunk today.
Oh,
Just not my typical go-to animal.
I know a couple people who might be interested in that skunk thing. Oh, I kind of want to try something different today. I think I want to be a capybara.
capybara.
I think we're all going a little different here because I normally wouldn't have picked this either, but I just kind of got inspired. I was looking at the art for the game and I kind of got inspired. So I'm going to be a flamingo.
Ooh.
Like that.
I like it. I like all these new animals.
I usually do like the cuddly animal, like the otter or the hedgehog or something, but I was like, no, I'm going to be a bird.
So the next thing we think about in Venture Society is what's a helpful thing that we do in town, and our helpful thing is something that we're going to get advantage on when we can integrate it into something that we're trying to do. So what is a helpful thing that each of you do?
My skunk is a florist.
I love it.
You want to go in order, Brian? You want to go next, or are you ready? You're muted though.
Yeah, I think I'm a commuter.
You're a what?
I'm a commuter.
A
But I help
commuter.
other people commute.
So are you very frequent with knowing the transportation systems in Venture Society, or are you like a guide to go to places?
Or like
I like to think of myself as like a taxi, but like it's like a free taxi. It's like I'm not charging for it. It's just like, hey, I'm going that way. You want to come?
Are you a part of the taxi corns?
I wouldn't mind being a taxi corn, but like I don't have any horns or anything like that.
Well,
I think
that's
it's gonna
okay.
be
You have a uniform.
a unicorn
You
uniform.
could
Yeah.
wear the horn on your head. You're perfectly fine. There's no classification
I
of what
love
kind
it.
of animal.
So because the capybaras, they're like little birds perch on them, right? So
Yeah.
like
you're
Yeah.
yes.
all right.
All right.
Taxi,
So
I'm
you're
a member of the taxi
Live
corps.
water taxi.
Yeah, I love it.
My flamingo delivers the newspaper.
So do you know a lot about what's going on in like all the regions because of that?
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on in the newspaper, but I know what's going in all the towns because I'm
Okay.
always traveling everywhere. Yes.
You might hear some gossip.
I'm hearing some stuff, but I don't really read the yeah.
All right. What is a item that you carry with you? Now, this doesn't have to be something that is helpful for your job, but it could be something that's comforting to you, something that helps others be comforted. It could be something that you just enjoy, that you like to keep on you. What is an item that you carry with you at all times? And it could be a piece of clothing. It could be a messenger bag. It could be a pencil. It could be anything. Anything you can carry.
I'm going to carry around a pocket knife
Ooh.
to be useful. It's one of those ones that has like a lot of attachments. There's like a lot of little.
Oh, so
pieces that
wait. Are we saying this is like a utility knife? Like
yeah, like
a
yes,
Swiss Army
like
knife
a
almost?
Swiss Army knife, like a utility knife. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We're gonna call this a Twilight Peaks knife.
You beat me to it.
I'm definitely going for like a bright red cap.
Nice. I'm just picturing how cute this capybara is.
Yeah, it's like a bright red, like ball, like fitted cap. But then I have to put like the uniform, like the horn on top of my cap. So it's kind of like
But that way everyone can see you so they can get the ride.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like I'm not a yellow taxi, but I mean I might as well be.
Does this cap bring you like comfort to wear? Is this like I know when I was a kid, I had this little red hat that I wore every day. And if someone took my hat, I would be so upset.
Yeah, I think this helps. This definitely helps me like stay focused. So it's the kind of cap where like the brim, like it's already bent all the way down, so it just helps me focus forward, so I don't get as easily distracted.
It's like blinders for a horse.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I mean,
okay.
I don't know that's why it's there, but I'm fairly sure my parents gave that to me.
Oh my god.
Okay.
These are the kind of conversations a kid will probably come up with too. So I mean, we're just giving you like a taste of what weirdness will happen. So my paper delivery person, they actually have a skateboard. It's their favorite skateboard. It's really cool. They got it when they were 11. They were 11. And they basically had it with them all the time. And because mostly people have bikes for this, You know, it took them a little bit of convincing that it was okay to do the skateboard, that they could still get it done, but they do it.
All right, I like it. All right, so we have our characters, and I think it's time for us
I'm gonna put my
to.
name in there. We should say our names.
Oh,
already.
what is everyone's name?
Hold on.
I forgot about that. What is everyone's name?
My skunk is named Petal.
Petal.
I mean, my capybara is named Ree. Like you got to drag the E out a little bit, so the Ree, but you just call me Recap.
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 I mean, it makes sense. You wear the cap, everyone. Yeah.
Cool cat. And I'm Joe. She, her, Joe. J-O.
And what is everyone's pronouns for this game here? What are your characters' pronouns?
She, her. We're Petal.
You
He,
said
him.
she, her? All right. So we are going to open on the moon cresting over the mountains of Twilight Peaks. When you look into the sky, you can see the lights from Oasis City to the east of you, and the tall redwoods from Sherwood on the other side of you on the west. And you can hear the river that leads to Riverdale. Where you currently are, you're standing in front of a giant statue in the center of Town Square in Venture Village. Next to it, we see a slender frog wearing a life vest, who everyone knows as Venture leader Robert of Rivervale, sorry. And as you all start to step up as a part of the this is like a tradition that every year the new Venture Society members are kind of initiated in by giving them their handbook and their first assignment. And Venture leader Robert is standing there kind of giving a speech. Many years ago, this region of our world used to be at war. Thankfully, peace was found by a few brave animals from each region. They threw down their weapons in the name of peace. And on that day, they formed the Venture Society to ensure that a war like that never happened again. Tonight, we initiate new members into the Venture Society. He gestures over to the lot of you from Venture Village. Venture Village, we have Recap, Joe, and Patel. Everyone in the town of Venture Village is either clapping, stomping, flapping, whatever their appendages do, making as much noise, cheering everyone on. There are people from all over here to celebrate the different factions of the Venture Society. And as the night goes on and Venture leader Robert is doing his normal speech and acknowledgements of everyone in the Venture Society, you see him start to call everyone to line up and get ready to receive their first assignment. and you all come up following the line one by one. You are all the last ones in line. How's it? Are there nerves going on? What's going on with you guys? Do you know each other?
I don't really know. Recap. I never, well, I mean, I've seen your cap. I don't really know you because I never really left Venture Village, except for the path. I go on the path. I don't really go by the river. So
you hear someone on the side says, "Everyone knows Recap."
Hi, Recap.
Hey.
Good evening. You are the newest members of the Venture Society from Venture Village. Here are your assignments. And he hands you all a piece of paper. And on the paper, it says, The Hauntings of Sherwood. See Venture Leader Talk. Like, what? Like,
what?
It's gonna get spooky.
You hear someone on the side, "Oh, we have to help a cat out of a tree. See Venture Leader Robert." And you hear someone else like, "Help Old Lady Williams to Twilight Peaks." What's going on with you guys right now? Like,
not that I'm scared or anything, but like, this seems like a bigger job than everybody else got.
Is this gonna get spooky?
And like, I just start like rubbing my fur a little bit, like, okay. Okay.
So, recap. Can you give me a focus roll?
What am I rolling?
Yeah, what are we rolling?
A focus roll.
What die?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Let's think about that. So, recap Abera. If you were to be in a situation, how would you handle a complicated situation? Would you handle it with your words? Would you handle it by being protective, or with your heart, using your heart? Would you do it by moving around and lifting things and doing things for others in that type of way? How would you handle difficult situations, or how do you handle things for yourself?
I think recap might have a little bit of a stutter. Like it doesn't say it like that, but I mean something at the end there. I like the idea of trying to be protective, because protecting little birds that land on me, or just moving out of the way. Like, all right, what? Like, okay, we're safe now.
So you are the D10. Joe, how do you handle things, do you think? And this could be for others or for yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely move around a lot on my board, but I think I'm probably more of a talker, because I like meet a lot of people along the way and talk to them and try to deliver the papers. So I'll go talker, which is 8, right?
That's a D8, yeah.
Yep.
And for Patel.
Petal's gonna be a mover. Petal's a doer, a problem solver. I'm just gonna go for it.
All right.
So Petal's a mover.
You're a mover. So you are the D6.
D6.
So whenever I ask you to make a roll, you're gonna only ever roll that die. So for recap, can you give me a focus roll on your D10? We're looking for a 2 or a 3.
Well, guys, let's get all the ones out of the way now.
Well, it's a hope so.
I mean, right? Ones are a good thing.
I know, like, so I mean, we're going focus.
Yes.
Well, my lovely D10 decided to do a 7, so not, not,
So currently, Joe and Petal, you see Recap. How is Recap showing he's anxious right now?
I think so. I think the hat is what helps keep me focused. But like I got so scared when I was scratching myself, it like kind of slid off cue there.
Oh, so like, are you like
Yeah,
Like,
it's
way
skewed.
off?
like yeah,
Yeah.
it's like oh now like I'm like wandering a little bit.
Oh, so your blinders are off.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm definitely like talking a lot, and maybe it's because I'm also nervous, but I'm also like saying I'm not nervous. I just keep saying that out loud, kind of like rhetorically, while he's doing this. So
Yeah.
I will say to recap, are you okay? Are you feeling okay?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I mean, I always wanted to go like see a haunting or something. So yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm gonna reach up and ask Recap, can I fix your cap for you? Can I
What?
just
Is something wrong with my cap?
well it's a little askew and I don't know. Can I just fix it?
Yeah. I mean, that. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
All right. You feel a little better now?
I feel better. I would feel even better if that paper changed and just had a whole bunch of different words, like something else. But no, it's a good first step. Thank you.
We'll be okay. We're gonna do it. We'll do it together. It'll be okay. It's what we were told to do. So I guess we're just gonna do it. They didn't assign to us something we weren't gonna be able to do, I guess.
Well, who's this? Who was this guy? It's not Robert.
Oh yeah. Talk.
Talk.
So as you say talk, you hear, yes? Everyone's like looking up and around.
You hear that?
Can everyone give me a focus roll?
My cat's back on stage.
Got a 1.
Okay.
So did I.
Okay.
All right. Help tokens. That's good for
Yeah.
later.
So you don't notice it, like, and you're walking around. Excuse me. Hey, watch it. You almost stepped on me. When you look down, you see there's a meerkat wearing a like a red hoodie, who is like, I'm venture leader Talk. Hi, are you assigned to me?
Hi. I guess so. We got this paper, and I just like show Talk the paper.
He grabs it. Oh yes. Oh yeah. They said there's a haunting in the woods near us, but I mean, I don't really believe it's a haunting, and we wouldn't send you on a first adventure that really was a haunting, right? I think.
See, that's what I said.
Yeah. Well, at least I hope.
Oh, that's not very
Recap leans over like close to Petal and is just like, I like his hood. It's a beautiful red hood. I love it.
You're like, I like his style too. He's cool.
Do you want it? He might tell you where he got it.
I could hear you, right? I may be small, but I got good hearing.
Where did you get your hoodie, your shirt?
It was assigned to me.
It was assigned to you.
Yeah,
do you have that your like uniform?
Yeah, like you see him like now like fully stand up, and it has like a big V on it, and it's like the badge of Venture Society. You see one like right here with his name, Venture Leader Talk. He says, well, I guess we should get going. I don't want to, I don't want you to get too nervous about this. I'm going to be with you the whole time. It's just, I just have to supervise and make sure that you can complete your first task to be initiated into the Adventure Society. And then you'll receive your badge. And I almost forgot. Your handbooks. And you see Talk like hand you all books that seem like they're too heavy for Talk to carry. Because they're definitely like almost as big as him, but he's able to like hand them over to you. Well, everything you need to know about the Adventure Society are in these books. I don't expect you to read them all now, but you get the gist of it. Just make sure that our purpose is to try to help people and well, be good animals, not people, like Tim just said.
I want to ask Talk. Are we supposed to go do this haunting investigation now at night?
Well, yeah. They all have to be done today.
Oh.
Don't worry. There's the moonlight's out and it always illuminates the floor of the forest. And there's always fireflies that are always out there at night. And sometimes there's some animals that are out there that are just traveling and usually have lanterns and stuff.
That's so lovely.
I'm more of a daytime animal. Okay, that's fine. That's okay.
Well,
I think Petal, you go out at night, so I
You go out at night. I'm ready to go. I think this is going to be great. I don't really know what we're going to do. Do you solve a haunting? Do you explore a haunting?
Well,
what are we doing with this haunting? Are we just going to go and like experience it? Is it just we're being very brave by going to it and then returning?
Well, really what they want us to do is, well, for you to do is to check it out and if there's something that's happening to, well, make it stop. Because they think I can't give away too much because I was told that I was supposed to tell you, I'm sorry, this is my first year as adventure leader. I don't know what's going on exactly, but
it's gonna be great.
listen, it's gonna be
amazing.
okay. I went through this too. Everything is gonna be okay. I'm not nervous either at all.
Hey, guide Talk.
Yes.
If I become a guide, do I get a red hoodie?
Well, yeah, maybe you could.
Petal, let's go. I'm good to go now. Yeah.
Haunting
I'm
first, hoodie second. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's go. I'm all about that now.
Well, I guess I'll tell you a little about what I can tell you along the way. So there's been some reports at night about that there's some spooky stuff going on in the forest of Sherwood. And well, I mean, I'm not scared at all. No, I'm not scared. I won't go digging under the ground. I will not hide while this is going on. So I will stand with you the whole time. But I'm technically not supposed to do anything. But if you need me, I am here. Okay. But oh God, I'm so nervous. Well, okay. So this is what we have to do. We're going to go into the forest and see if there's anything suspicious going on. And if someone's doing things that they shouldn't be, we're going to stop it and put an end to all this haunting stuff. Hopefully it's not a ghost or a specter or one of those ghouly things. I don't think they're real, are they? Whew.
I kind of hope it's a ghost.
What? I mean, I kind of hope it's not a ghost. It's probably just like a white animal or something. That's probably what it is.
Maybe it's like a polar bear or maybe a wolf or something along those lines.
Or ghost of
Wait,
yeah.
It's not a ghost polar bear, right? Like
a ghost of a polar bear would also be great. I'm
That's
just setting us up
terrifying.
for success across the board. We're gonna be excited no matter what we encounter.
I help people. Like, let's say, for example, if I was on this side of the block and I help people cross to the other side of the block, I'm helping them cross over. Yeah, I could do this.
All right, we're on board.
Yeah.
Joe, how do you feel? Are you on board? Because Recap and I were in now.
Yeah. As long as we stick together, I'm cool. And like maybe stick to the path. Like I don't want to go too deep into
Oh.
the woods.
Speaking of that, does anyone know how to get out of Adventure Village? I don't come here a lot.
We have to go to Twilight Peaks.
No, we're going to Sherwood.
Sherwood,
Oh, no.
Sherwood,
Wait,
Sherwood.
is it Sherwood? Where's
I
the
don't know.
paper?
Yeah, Sherwood. I'm familiar. I deliver there all the time. So like I said, along the path, it's pretty well lit. I mean, every once in a while, I'll get back when it's just getting kind of dusk and the lights are already on. So that's cool. So they hopefully are still on now. But what we do is, so we go down past the Grange, right down there to the right, and then go over that little like bridge over the river, and it's pretty much maybe like a 5-minute walk past that.
Yeah, I now remember the bridge. Oh, cool. Thank you. Talk starts bringing you across the bridge, and just like you said, Joe, you make it about like 5 minutes over the bridge, and there is Sherwood. It's just, you could tell that Talk is so nervous that like Talk doesn't like looks like he honestly doesn't know what to do. He brings you up to the forest, and as you get closer to the forest, you realize it's very dark in the forest, and you can see like the moonlight like kind of dancing along the floor as like the tree, like the overgrowth of the trees is like swaying in the wind. You can see like the light kind of dancing, and like the like particles of dust and whatnot through the night kind of make it very visible. And as you are coming up to the tree line, to the entrance of this forest, you see a flutter of fireflies quickly flying out of the forest. Oh, did you see that? Oh, did you hear it? Did you hear it? I saw those eyes. Those eyes were piercing. Oh, I don't want to go back in there.
Those were some fireflies.
These are the fireflies.
I try to like I try to catch their attention. I want to try to catch their attention and talk to them. Like, what did you see? What did you see?
How do you try to get their attention?
So I have like, I'm flapping my like big wings because they're kind of a little over our heads. And I'm like, what did you see? What did you see in there?
Give me a move roll.
2.
A 2.
That didn't do it. Yeah.
Didn't do it.
They have 2 health tokens, but I don't think it's
they are so like, they look scared. Like if you could see their tiny little expressions, you see like there's like almost like it looks like their little antennae are like exclamation points, like no, and they're fluttering away very quickly.
Okay, and they're gone.
So I think we found our polar bear ghost.
It might not be a ghost.
It might not
Okay,
be
we
a polar
found
bear.
our haunting.
Polar bear. Yeah.
I don't think that was it. They
Well, I
look
think
like
they
they were
came
running
from
from
it.
something.
So do we head towards where they were running from?
That's what I'm thinking.
Because that's all I'm seeing right now. Like,
You're seeing a red hoodie in your future.
I am the prize.
Talk and I are like hanging back, I think. I'm hanging with Talk, kind of waiting for Talk's lead here.
oh, I'm
Talk
asking Talk. Talk, do you
Talk
need a
is
ride?
standing behind you.
Come here, Talk. Do you need a ride? It's nice and calm here.
Yeah. And Talk kind of jumps aboard. Okay. Can you give me a heart roll recap?
Okay, I think I could do that one. He said before not. 5. I'm good.
5. Yeah. How are you? How is this comforting to Talk?
I mean, have you seen my fur? I scratch it a lot, but everybody else loves it.
Yeah, you just see Talk kind of like cuddling in with you a little bit. Like it's just like nice and cozy.
It's a nest. I'm a portable nest.
Yeah, like this is like a good time for Talk. Like it feels like home. And Talk looks at everyone else. Is everyone ready?
Like,
Yes.
okay,
Oh.
is the room up there for me?
Oh yeah.
You want to? We can walk together.
Oh yeah,
I'm
okay.
pretty. I
I have
have
my.
pretty.
I don't think my skateboard's gonna work in there.
Oh no, I think maybe you want to just like manage to chuck that under that bush over there. It can
What?
stay on the path.
No,
So
I'll
that way
carry
it's
it.
not in
I'll
the way.
carry it. We might need to put something on there. I don't know. I'm gonna carry it. Like I'm hugging it in front of me, like
Yeah.
this, and I'm just like I'm assuming Petal is doing a very confident walk, and I'm just trying to keep pace and like act like everything's fine. As it like gets darker, and I'm like,
Yeah, and as you go deeper into the woods, like that trail of the moonlight starts to get thinner, and the light coming in here is very dim now, and it's getting very quiet. You can see in the distance, though, there looks like there's a light that's like dancing around, moving, and it's kind of eerie because like there's a little fog coming in, and the fog is like illuminating whatever this is like way bigger than what it should be. It looks kind of spooky.
So I'm gonna approach it. I'm nocturnal. I'm very good at seeing at night. I'm gonna go towards it. I'm happy to go alone if nobody else wants to come with me. I'd prefer not to go alone. But I understand I might be on my own on this one. But I'm pretty confident I can see what's going on.
Give me a focus roll, and I'm going to give you advantage on this because you are nocturnal.
All right.
You could see very well at night.
I got a 4.
All right, give me another roll.
3.
3, perfect. So in the distance, you can see like it is a little hard for you to see through this like this little bit of mist, but you can see very well at night, and you can see that this light that's moving through it is just a kangaroo bouncing around with a lantern, and you see that it looks like it's in a hurry, and it's bouncing, like jumping around, and stops and it like looks around, and then all of a sudden starts coming very fast towards where you guys are.
Okay, don't be alarmed. Someone is coming, but it's a friend. It's not a ghost. It's not a polar bear. It's neither of these things. It's a kangaroo, but it is coming our direction, but don't be alarmed. Just preparing you.
okay.
No surprises.
I know a couple of things. They're cool. All right.
You hear thump, 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 and it's getting louder and louder until like it like stops like right in front of you. Ah!
You're gonna crash into us. We're here.
I'm sorry. I can't see at night. It's this lantern's not really helping.
It's not helping me either now.
Did you hear it?
Did we hear? No.
You're you thumping.
The ghost of the woods. It spoke to me.
What?
What did it
And-
say?
And when it spoke, there was 3 sets of eyes looking at me. It was so scary. The trees. It's almost like the trees came to life, and like almost like their eyes opened, and they were all peering at me. And something said, "You get out," or something like that. It was scary, but it was a much scarier voice.
Great. Wonderful. Okay. Where was that? Where I'm gonna ask which direction?
He like points in a direct, like back where he was like coming from. It's really hard to see over there. There's a mist crawling through the forest. It's kind of spooky, and all the fireflies, they all left. It's getting harder to see in here.
Just real quick, Tim, do you want to take a break now, or do you want to wait till the scene's over?
We can do it now. We'll take a quick break and take a 5 and come back.
Yeah, I liked your PBS comment. It's totally true, but yeah, like it's definitely like the vibe that we're going for with it. I mean, I'm sure there will be
Welcome back, everyone. So last we left off, we had a light in the darkness that seemed to be dancing around, and Petal noticed with their nocturnal vision, seeing that there was a kangaroo holding a lantern coming their way as they heard this loud thumping. And currently in front of you is a fairly large kangaroo, towering over most of you. Uh, did you hear it? Did you hear the noise? And see those eyes? It was so scary. I saw it back there. You're Venture Society members, right? You can help.
We can help. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
we
you
can
do.
help.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
that's not very reassuring.
It's kind of, it's
Hear or see.
yeah, we're kind of scared too, but we'll still help you.
Okay. Well, I don't know what it is, but it feels like some type of ghost.
So can you tell us what you heard? You said you heard it. So what kind of noise did
It said,
you
"You get out of my forest," or something like that. It was scary. I just, as soon as I heard the voice and saw the eyes, it ran. Oh, hopped.
You sure it wasn't just like one of the residents, like that was like mad that you woke them up or something, and they were really scary, and that's all it was? That's all it was, right?
No one lives in this part of the forest. This is where the nature trail is.
Oh.
At least as far as I know.
The forest, like that doesn't make any sense.
Well, what do we want to do? Do we want to keep going towards the noise together? There's safety in numbers.
Talking about me?
Well, you're invited.
Well, I guess I could lead you back. I don't know. I'm so scared.
Recap keeps staring at the pouch, of the kangaroo.
Mhm.
And it's like, are you a member of the Taxicorns?
Yeah.
Hey, they're like, I'm a fellow member too. Come on. We could travel together.
Well,
I like your pouch.
Give me a talk roll, or I'll consider a heart too. Give me a heart roll. I consider that here.
All right. 5.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I could help a fellow Taxicorn transportation system engineer. I'll show you where it was.
Do you need a spare like unicorn?
Well, I wasn't on duty, but if you have one, I guess maybe it'll help me feel a little better. And
yeah, it helps me feel better all the time. It points me in the right direction.
He takes the unicorn horn that's like pretty much like a party hat, and like snaps it onto his head. Yeah. And he's like, follow me. Just be careful in case you see it again. And he starts to thump out into the darkness, and it's very easy to follow him because of how loud his thumping is, of him like hopping around. And you hear like crackling of like twigs and stuff, and you get to a little clearing where the fog is very thick here. Like this misty fog is like kind of like dancing around, like halfway of like where like half of you are, like most of you standing up, like it's like coming up to like about here. So it's very like tall right now, and tall to you. And you hear, ooh,
Nope.
are you?
I like go
I'm
right over to Petal and right over behind everybody. I'm just like,
Why have you entered my wood?
Well, we were told that this isn't anyone's wood. We were told that this is everyone's wood.
You hear this noise from like behind you now. Ha! It is my wood. And you are trespassing here.
Not according to this paper.
You're sent here.
You see a set of eyes like open on what looks like this tree high above you. I see you're trespassing. I wish you to leave. And then you hear again from another direction. Ooh.
I'm gonna whisper to guide talk wherever he's located on recap right now. Psst. Please advise. Is this the haunting?
Talk has his hoodie like completely over his face and has like tied it. So like almost like a Kenny view of his face. Like his snout is out and you can just barely see his eyes. What? Did you say, is this a haunting?
Is this it? Is this the
I'm
haunting?
pretty sure.
Okay.
Don't worry, I got your back. And then like kind of like is now like kind of hiding in a bit, like just
You're
looking
on
out.
my back. You don't
Yeah.
have my back. You're on my back. That's completely different.
My back's got you, man.
so we don't see anything. We only hear stuff, right?
But we hear things
Fog. Okay.
from like all different directions though.
And you see eyes sometimes open and close in different directions. And it looks like it's the trees, but it's very confusing.
So I'm like, got the skateboard up like under my mouth like that. And I kind of like have inched now closer to recap. And now Petal's near there. So we're kind of huddled, like very, very close. So I heard you say that and I got a little scared. But then I was like, somebody, maybe we should look and go in one of the directions of the voices. I mean, together.
I guess I agree. So
it's better than splitting up. I don't want to do that.
I do. Yes, at least for now.
I thought you were going to suggest a split up.
No.
Talk like goes like this. Oh, I'll be right here.
Meanwhile, where's the kangaroo? Is he still there?
You see him like the kangaroo is like looks like very terrified, but like a few feet behind you because like this is where he experienced this before and he's like terrified, but he's there.
Okay.
What do you all do?
Okay, so team vote. Do we follow the noise together? Yes.
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 Is my hat pointing that way?
Yes.
We'll go in that
Then
direction
yes.
first. We'll go in that direction first.
Okay. Which one do we want? The direction of recap's hat? Do we want to follow up?
I guess I was thinking like that way, but
Oh, I was thinking up. Which
up?
You want me to go up?
I guess I could go up, but that's not sticking together. That's splitting up. I don't think we should go up quite yet.
Maybe we just go over to the other side of the clearing first and see if something's there. So we're kind of going through the fog, I guess, towards the other side of the clearing, like in a straight line.
But we're not leaving. I'm making it very clear to the voices, to the polar bear ghost. We're not leaving.
Ooh. Did you call me?
Do
There
you,
it goes.
do you have a name? 'Cause I
Do
don't
you have
remember-
a name?
You
Who are
see
you?
you see two eyes open, like very wide. Who are you?
Who are you?
We asked first.
We're here with Venture Society, and we're here on official business.
I introduced myself. My name's Petal. I already told you my name. Who are you?
Oh. You see the eyes like close, and then you see eyes open on another tree. Jackie.
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 It's
It's-
nice to meet you, Jackie.
It's a spooky name, isn't it?
It's very spooky. It's a very spooky name, Jackie. It's nice to meet you. It's
Now-
spooky to meet you.
Go tell all your friends about how spooky I am.
It's only half as spooky. Hold on. I'm pointing at where I think Jackie might be, and I'm pointing at the kangaroo's lantern. You guys need to get together. You're trying to be spooky. You should get together.
Somehow, like, hearing that their name was Jackie made me feel slightly more comfortable, like maybe they're not a ghost. So
Let's go.
I've like, and Petal's like having a conversation, so I'm like, okay, so, and not that I'm like relaxed yet, but I'm at least like skateboard down, and I've like
a little
kind of
better.
moved over closer to Petal, like, yeah, that's right, kind of, we're part of this group. That's kind of the vibe I'm going with.
You get that sense of like confidence in
Confidence, like, yeah, what she said.
okay. What do you all do? You go to, are you still going to the other side of like the clearing?
Well, now I feel like we saw was up though, but I don't want to split up. Could we climb on top of the kangaroo?
Well, I can climb. I mean, maybe
tree.
some of us can, and then I can do my own climbing, right? So like, we can all find our own ways of getting up to Jackie's level.
Yeah, I'm a bird, but I can't fly, and I cannot really climb a tree. The last time I tried it was really bad.
But you are kind of tall. Is there maybe a rock somewhere you can stand on, or a stump?
I just point at my head.
Should we look around for one?
You're
Tim?
doing so much
Would
work,
Yeah.
though.
For
Give
like
me-
yeah.
Give me a focus roll.
Okay. 3.
3. All right. So after like inspecting the area, you can find a few like trees that were downed that aren't like very thick trees, like things that you could use that are enough to support you, that you can like position on one of the trees and kind of like make your way up there.
I think we should. I'm gonna whisper to the team. I think we should let Jackie know we're gonna come up to their level. I don't want to just like pop up there and like invade some space. So I'm just are we all okay with that, or do we want the element of surprise? Is that what we're going for?
You see Talk like pull out a little clipboard and like jot something down,
Yeah.
and then like go hide again.
That sounds good, because I don't want to get it. I don't want to get them more angry or more.
Right.
mean.
Right. All right.
Who's gonna shout it? Because
I vote Petal, but I'll
Petal?
do
Petal's
it.
Petal is a doer. That's true. I'm a little off the cuff though. I'm not always the best,
Yeah.
patient communicator. But I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, give him the warning.
Hey,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna sort of like angle up and like shout up to Jackie and say, "Hey, Jackie, I don't want to startle you, but we would like to get to know you a little bit. So we're gonna come up there. Is that okay?"
Give me a words roll.
A words roll. What am I going for? Ooh,
4, 5, 6, or a 7.
I got a crown.
Oh, so what does your animal know, have, or remember that helps you succeed in this situation?
What does my animal know, have, or remember?
And when we figure that out, we're gonna yell venture and go with it.
maybe my animal, not just for being the animal that I am, but just from the person that I am, maybe Jackie is just a little bit lonely. I know that I get a little cranky when, I'm not getting my, friendship, companion, connection needs met. So maybe Jackie is just needing a little bit of company. And so that's why, I think that maybe we should go up there and see if, Jackie just needs a listening ear or a friend to hang out with.
All right.
All right. You ready?
So, Venture.
Venture.
You say that and you hear, okay, but be prepared of how spooky I am.
Okay, we will.
So are we all climbing on Recap's back, or are we
I'm just gonna.
You're going on your own. Okay.
I'm just gonna scurry climb a skunk. I can do that, I think.
Yeah, I think you're able to get up there like fairly easy.
Okay.
I think you're all able to get up there easy enough that like you get to a point where you can now see a little better at like the top part of the tree. And Joe, you see, or Petal, you see first. You see some bright colors. It looks like a beak. And then like very curiously, you see, hi.
Hi.
You see a toucan. And it's like looking at you. I'm terrifying spooky ghost.
Yeah. I'm definitely startled. You're very close to me.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Can you act a little more scared? He's gonna get real mad if you're not.
Oh.
Who's good?
Okay.
Who's mad?
Oh. All right, friends, be prepared. Jackie's really scary.
Okay.
I'm gonna back up a little, Jackie. I don't want to be too close.
You hear, ooh, see how scary we are. It's time to leave.
We are? Are we all going together?
Are we? No, I don't think I don't think we're scary. I think
Yeah,
they're
Jackie
scary.
gang is scary.
As you're getting down, Petal, you see that Jackie's like looking around now and a little nervous. Yeah, I'm scary. Woo! Like trying to like make scary noises, flapping, like hitting like the branches of the tree. You see things like fluttering down towards you.
All right, Jackie, we're gonna back off. You're right. You're really scary. We're gonna back off a second.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
Scary birds.
When we
And
get down,
see Jackie kind of like go back like behind, hops onto like another branch and like is now like kind of like looks a little scared themselves.
so now oh god.
I think we have to rescue Jackie.
Well, I was gonna say it seems like Jackie doesn't want to be doing this, and I don't know if it's like their dad or their friends or if like bad guy. I don't know.
I don't think Jackie likes the situation they're in though.
Recap just like yells, Jackie, do you need a ride?
You hear, ooh, and when you look up to where you see the noise, you see eyes that like spin around and look at you and then blinks and then like spins back around.
Okay. That was actually kind of scary, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like that. Maybe we could make a distraction and try to like save Jackie or something and get out of
We
here.
could like challenge Jackie, be like, I bet you can't come down here and scare us,
That's
Is that
good.
what you say?
I like it.
right?
Yeah, I
You
like
say
it.
that?
Yeah, let's go for it. That's what as we say that.
Give me a words roll.
Me?
Mhm.
3.
Is anyone else helping? Now also you can use a help token here to re-roll, or you can have something on you, spend 2 tokens to have something on you that could help you in this situation as well. You do have some help tokens here.
Yeah. Up to you. What do you want to do? I was just trying to think if there were any items that would help us in this situation. I was thinking before, we have the lantern, but it's too foggy, so you can't really see. So maybe if we had like a stronger light or a fire, maybe we could actually see what the heck is going on and like
Well,
that
my
noise.
Twilight Peaks utility knife has a flint in it. We could try to make the flame in the lantern bigger.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So spend.
I mean, we got all these branches that we just stepped on, so we could make a fire.
Yeah, we will spend 2 help tokens here to have this. And we'll say that one of your bits on your Twilight Peaks utility knife is is a like flint and steel, if you will, right? And you make a makeshift torch. What exactly are you trying to build? Yeah.
Well, I thought I was just gonna try to like put more like stuff into the lantern, like little twigs and stuff, like Joe was saying, from the ground, more like kindling and stuff, and then light it on fire inside the lantern. So just like make the lantern a little bit brighter from the kangaroo.
Yeah, let's do that.
Did we ask the kangaroo's name?
No, not at all.
We're all too.
Oh,
No.
We're way too focused on this ghost and the ghost's name.
I was gonna call it Kangacorn.
Kangacorn.
The Kangacorn.
So he comes over and he says, yeah, maybe that'll help. By the way, my name is Skip.
Oh.
Thanks, Skip.
The light gets brighter in this area, and it starts to illuminate higher up into the branches in this clearing, and you can see Jackie, who is kind of hiding but kind of looking across to the clearing to another big tree, and you see a white owl there, very large white owl. I'm scary. Get out of my woods.
Ghost-like, if you will.
Yeah, like he now knows that they are visible, like is now flustered a bit.
Right. So like obviously seeing that it's I for a second I'm like, is it a ghost owl? But then I realize it's not a ghost owl.
It's an owl that looks like a ghost.
It's an owl that looks like a ghost, but I can tell that they're also kind of like flustered and a little. So I'm like, we can see you. And you're not scary to us.
You.
So I say I'm like in your direction of the owl. I'm like, we can see you, owl, and we're not scared.
They look like kind of like ashamed, like oh man, like they can see me. And like Jackie kind of comes out. I think we gotta. I think it's time we have to stop this. And Jackie kind of comes down, like flutters down to where you are, and is like standing next to Petal, and like looking up at Petal, and like kind of like, okay, what do you guys do?
Do you think we should ask Jackie why they're doing this, or should we
I think
try
so.
another owl
I
down?
think that's Jackie. What's going on? Why are you doing this?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Jackie why are they doing this? Like, why are they trying to be scary in the woods?
Well, we live here in the trees up above, and well, everyone keeps coming in here and walking the trail, and they keep making a big mess and littering everywhere. And we just want to live in peace here, and they keep making a big mess, and they don't clean up after themselves.
Oh, that's not good. But did you try telling them to? Did you try talking to them first, or
Well,
maybe putting a sign up?
I did, but Ezekiel, he just wanted to scare everyone away, and he convinced me that it'd be better if we did that. And you see, like, up in the tree, you see Ezekiel kind of try to hide in their wing a little bit, like they look like they feel very insecure right now.
Jackie, I think Ezekiel knows what he was doing and what its impact was going to be, but I am worried that you don't know what's happening to all the animals that aren't here littering anymore. I'm worried you don't know, I know your intention was to, take care of your home and make people respect where you live, but your impact was different.
Did I do something wrong? I was just trying to protect us. Oh no. So what's happening?
Well, everyone's really, really scared. Like, the fireflies are all gone, and like no one wants to walk through here anymore, or even go to Sherwood anymore.
Oh no. No one's going to Sherwood? I have an aunt in Sherwood. Oh no.
I mean, are you only doing this at night?
Well, it's hard to pretend like you're a ghost during the day.
I mean, our whole group is about helping people. I mean, maybe we could help you during the day so you don't have to stay up all night doing this.
You see Ezekiel like swoop down. Who? You're gonna help us pretend like ghosts during the day?
Oh no. I was just gonna help other people give a hoot. Like, you're gonna help them give a hoot during the night, and just
Give me a heart roll.
Give a hoot.
Bring it home.
Ryan. Feel like I'm gonna need help on this one. Oh, I didn't even know the dice work that way. It's a 10.
Oh,
On a 10.
so what does your animal know, have, or remember that helps you succeed?
Man, I'm too focused on this taxicorn stuff. You know what? How about
It's the blinders.
It's the blinders. I'm stuck with the
We're
blinders.
laser focused on
Am I
it.
allowed to? Are we allowed to help with the?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Do you advertise on your taxicorns?
Well, I mean,
Could you?
You're right.
Could you give a hoot? Don't pollute. Advertise on your taxicorn.
I think so. I could put like a little satchel on one side. It could say, give
sandwich sign.
And I look up at like Talk. I'm like, what would make this work even better? If I had a hoodie that I could wear with it on.
Like a red hoodie.
Like a red hoodie, like specifically a red hoodie.
And like Skip's like kind of perking up and looking now, aren't they?
Yeah, like you see Talk kind of like pulling their hood over, like, oh, see, I told you it wasn't a ghost, I think. You see Ezekiel now, like, give a hoot. don't pollute. I like it. Talk looks at all of you and Ezekiel and gets down off of recap. Your name is Ezekiel, right? And he like gestures like, yeah. And come with me and we'll make sure the taxicorns get a slogan like give a hoot, don't pollute, and start to make their way back towards Venture Village. And I think we're going to close out around here. And mostly because I want to leave some room to talk about how we close out Venture Village.
Yeah.
Seeing that we have a little bit of time left.
Yeah.
So normally we would close by awarding venture points. And venture points, what they are things that we do in the game to try and help people, help ourselves, or make responsible decisions through the game. And a lot of this was built upon like thinking about in the terms of like social emotional learning. And along the way, Talk had a checkboard the whole time, marking things off about what you did on your first assignment to award you these points. And Talk has awarded you 4 society points for building resiliency to work through your fears by using empathy to work with Jackie, working with differing feelings to kind of work with each other and almost everyone you came in contact with. And finding solutions, right? We found a way to overcome this situation where we had some animals just trying to scare everyone out instead of like finding a better way to deal with their problem. And what we would do with our society points, or our venture points rather, is we would add things to ourselves to add a new item or add a new thing that we're good at along the way, or add a new location to the map. And this is a way for us to build our world out as we play over a longer period of play. And also a way for us to reflect. So, and thinking about the idea of reflection here, what do you think that someone else did in today's session that was helpful?
I really liked when Recap offered to let Talk get on your back and be comfortable, and that because then that made my character much more comfortable. And then the same with Skip, kind of like being scared. Like Recap was like, but we're taxicorns, so like you should just come with us. So like even though you went to that well a lot, it kind of worked because then it was like a way like everybody could be, comfortable, because it's like, well, you're a taxicorn. So
yeah,
that was cool.
I also liked when Recap was like, wait, I could be a Venture Society guide one day. I could get a hoodie. Like that first step is to solve this haunting.
Yeah.
And I like that, like you got a glimpse of a goal, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay, that's what Recap wants for himself, is to be a guide. And that's what got him to like take that first step. Okay, now I'm in, now I'll do it.
Yep.
I liked watching Joe face their fears, right? Face her fears in a way that it's cool to see, like almost watching kid like hold on to what's theirs to like be that comfort. And I'm like, it's a skateboard, but that grip tape probably doesn't feel too good on your neck, but you need it right now to get through it, right? And that was
Yep.
like really cool to see that play out.
Using some coping mechanisms, right?
Yeah, and the fact that like Joe thinks they're cool and they want to be tough, but they couldn't, it was like this weird dichotomy. And then I just love that Petal was like, I not afraid if it was a ghost, was like ready if it was a ghost to be like, well, we're doing something about it, and if it's not a ghost, we're solving this problem. So like that was cool, because we probably needed somebody in the group to be like that, so that kind of worked out, because it would have even been tougher if we were all like, nope. So that was great.
Yeah,
that a lot.
I thought it was really cool that a lot of you were able to like name feelings, right, and really like identify some of the feelings that were happening between like some of the animals and yourselves. I think is an important thing to identify, especially with kids. We know we're not. I mean, we're giant kids.
Yeah,
I know I am.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention too, which I'm sure you might have been going into this next, Tim, was, this adventure was, with the break, I don't know, 45 minutes or whatever it ended up being. But typically there's also like a hands-on type of activity as well. So like if when we took our break, for example, if we were like hitting a point where a kid or somebody's like kind of looking over here, looking out the window, or one kid's kind of taking a longer turn and they're not paying attention, it brings everybody back to the table. Like, we're going to do a maze, everybody find all of the fireflies on this picture, whatever it might be. And I mean, this happens with adults too. We've all played a game where they're on their phone and like looking, not paying attention.
Yeah.
So it's the same idea, but it kind of brings everybody back in just in case.
Yeah, we do have a bunch of puzzles and activities that you can use, things from home and other things planned in our adventures, and suggestions for types of things that you could do in an adventure to bring people back to the table and bring kids back to the table, bring attention there and energy, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. And I know when we were talking about it for therapy sessions, but probably for the classroom too, is like you could throw in whatever they need to be working on, right? Or whatever your lesson currently is. Like if it's more math right now or spelling, you don't have to use the puzzle we included. You can do something else.
We could change it to be anything. And that was the intention, right? Where we wanted to be interchangeable and flexible so that it works for whoever you're playing with.
Cool.
But, yeah.
I think we have a little time before we do like the outro, bye-bye and all that stuff. So I wanted to just kind of go over kind of like what the game is going to look like and what options you have, just because this in a virtual space, which is probably how you're going to see it most of the time because of everything. But you're going to be able to get, of course, just a book that teaches you how to run the game, but the real product itself is like a boxed game that's going to have literally everything you need to run the game. So it's going to have of course the book to how to run it. It's going to have the therapy and teacher professional book. It's going to have a really cool like stand-up calendar style adventure book, so that one side is the image that the kids and the players are seeing, and the other side is like what you're seeing is like pertinent information for the adventure. Dry erase character sheets and pens, and then of course dice, the help tokens, the adventure society tokens, and then I want maybe Erin and Brian, you can go over each of these things. We're going to do an adventure prompt card deck, and we're going to do a nonverbal actions deck. So if you two want to maybe like explain what those are, and we can kind of, whoever wants to go.
I know on my end, the idea of having something that for children who might be nonverbal, or even parents too, right? The idea of, well, I'm having trouble communicating aloud in this way. I want to have tools that I could just grab and show what I'm thinking or what I want to do. With the kids that we had in mind when we first started this, and with the children and the families that we help out in the office, it's been, how can I help you tell a story even if you can't voice it aloud? And for some kids, they have pictorial systems. For other kids, they have maybe a text to talk. But the idea that our game will make it, this is comfortable, it's okay, you do something like this in the game. The game is built with that in mind. I think that could really lessen some anxiety and break some ice for people that I really haven't seen like in too many other places.
Yeah.
And one quick thing I know that I've heard from people as they've heard this being in the game is like, when we've all watched, if you ever watched an actual play or played in a role-playing game, typically someone like Tim, the guide, is going to say, what do? You see this thing, and that usually means they want you to say something. And even if a kid isn't nonverbal or low verbal, putting a kid on the spot, or anybody on the spot, sometimes can be like paralyzing, right? So even having that as an option, just to say like, oh, I could just point at the jump, or I could point at the climb and say like, I want to climb. And then maybe later as the game goes on, I'm more comfortable to talk or something, or after I've played 3 times. But I think just having it like on top of that, Brian, would really be helpful for kids in that situation too.
And I think also to that note, right, like my character was very obviously a little cheeky nod to Flower from Bambi. And I think that I did that on purpose, because even if, when you're just encountering, a classroom full of students who are at a wide, vast range of accessing their own creativity, I think having that permission to reach for familiar characters, reach for familiar, story elements and things like that is something that I, rely on as a teacher that teaches writing. That's something that's really helpful for kiddos, is they have trouble getting started to reach for something familiar. Something I'm really excited about for teachers is the Quick Start adventure deck that Heather was mentioning, which came out of, we were out in DC at the American Library Association conference, and we were working with this game and a couple of other games, and we really wanted some very brief, quick scenarios that we could pull from, so that when we had the patrons of the, or not patrons, library, we had the kids who were coming to us and the people who were coming to us, the attendees, making characters for a couple of the games, and Venture Society was one of them. And we wanted just really quick scenarios that we could have them put their character in and practice making a decision, and maybe roll a die and really like see how this kind of fits out. And so we were reaching for like these like off the cuff, like find a problem that they could solve about a character with their character, and just to sort of see how it feels. And when Heather and I got back from that conference, we were like, oh, wouldn't it be great to have these go-to quick start adventures where the deck of cards has, one card is character creation, one card is, the basics of the game, and then the rest is just these quick, like 2-sentence prompts with maybe a couple questions that you could ask to get the adventure flowing, so that you don't need anything other than this deck of cards to interact with this game. So just another way that teachers could pull a card during morning meeting, or families were sitting waiting for a table at a restaurant, let's pull out a card and play our characters. So it's just another way to interact with the game that we're really excited about.
Yeah, and like the thing I've been hearing a lot about from everybody is like thinking of it either as a family game, or in the situations that you're using, is things need to be quick, they need to be adaptable, and they want to get going right away, right? So it's definitely like, this was like kind of our solution to that, and I'm excited. I think it's going to be cool. But yeah, so we're going to Kickstarter September 13th, in a couple of weeks, and we've got a lot of different interesting levels. There's also a level where you can like get your own copy and then donate a copy for a lower price to either a school, a library, or like a youth group type of program. So Erin and I are going to kind of like work through that. So 9th level will like handle everything, and we'll reach out to people. So that's going to be cool. And, I'm excited to get it out in the actual world, but that's going to be a little while. So, so this is the next best thing, but, yeah, so that's coming out, and I'm sure the link is in the Twitch somewhere. But yeah, let's do a little recap, and then reminder of where everybody can be found. And a recap. Yeah.
Speaking of recaps, Recapabera, would you like to go first?
I think you just threw me off. Uh, like, okay, wait, recap and how, because now I'm stuck in my character.
Oh yeah, sorry, your character.
Yeah.
I was just thinking final thoughts, I guess is the word.
Final
thoughts.
okay. Like, I'm just thinking of like, am I carrying somebody? Like, no,
Sorry.
I love coming back to this world and trying something new every time and being able to do that and just imagining like one of the kids that I work with or one of the families that I work with, okay, how would they use this and do this differently? And then just lean into it. And so like I'm so excited for what we've been doing and where it can go.
Awesome. And remind us what your Twitter and website are for Gate
Tim.
or Tim.
Well, you can find me. You can find me on Twitter,
Okay.
Timothy Grant ESN, and you can find us at therapyandplay.com if you would like to check out what we do in the office. But yeah.
Cool. Erin, you want to go next?
So I usually lead things like this with this sentiment, and I didn't this time. I saved it for the end on purpose. My favorite thing about a game like Venture Society, really anything that exists within the polymorph system, is just how incredibly accessible it is. I'm not an RPG person. I've not been someone who interacts with those kinds of games much in my life. And so to sort of jump into this project, and at first I was a little hesitant just because I didn't know how helpful it was going to be, because I'm not as familiar with, this kind of game, this kind of experience, this kind of space, but just how incredibly accessible and how incredibly friendly just the polymorph system makes RPG playing and interacting with that game. The first time I talked about this, I said, I'm not overwhelmed, I'm not underwhelmed, I'm just simply whelmed, and it's a delightful feeling, right? Like it's just very easy, very approachable to pick up and learn, and you don't need anything other than that one die, that one book, and the character sheet, and you're ready to kind of go. And it's just, I really enjoy that this system is out here to make gaming accessible to people who are not Dungeons and Dragons people, who are not, don't have the time available to do the homework to level their characters between one Sunday and the next. And so I do love that. And I like that we're doing the work to bring it to teachers, to bring it to libraries, to bring it to families. I got to run my first game the other night for one of my former students and her family, and it was just so much fun to run. And I hope they had as much fun playing as I did running it, because it was really a blast. And just to have the confidence to be able to step in and be like, you know what, I'm going to do this one, and I did it, and it was great.
Now, mind you, I am very proud of you, because that was your first game you've ran, and that also like makes me feel good too, because we made a product with that in mind. Like, never ran a game, and we want this to be simple for you to pick up and learn how to play, and not have like the stress of like, oh, I have to read 500 pages of rules to know how to play this game. No, like we want you to know in like as little amount of rules as possible, so you could just pick it up and go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Cool. Any socials you want to share, or are you good? You don't have to.
You are welcome to follow me if you'd like to. It's nothing professional. It's mostly just me shouting into the void.
Sure. And then, this is a recap from the 9th level side of things. And me personally, again, also like just super loving how this came together with you three. And like, I'm excited we're finally going to like be putting it out there after all the work that we've done. But, the main things that I am proud about are we got a lot of very professional, either therapists, RPG writers, or teachers to write the adventures. We've got you guys involved. So I feel really confident that we're not just saying we know how to make a game that's for all these people, so that's kind of cool to collaborate with so many different people on this, but also just to bring this to like a new audience. Like 9th level already is very approachable within the gaming space, but like in the non-gaming world, I feel like it can like you said, Erin, like it can be simple enough that people are like, oh wait, I could maybe try this. So we'll see if that actually works out, but we think that might be the case. So anyway, you can follow any ninth level things at ninth level games, the number 9, or at ninthlevel.com. That's where basically all of these things will be. And then, like I said, the Kickstarter will be September 13th.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for watching. Go help us make this thing a reality, because I had a lot of joy in putting all the work into it, and I would like to share it with you all.
Awesome. Thanks all.
Thank you.
Bye.